All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. We'd also like to give double honors to our elders and apostles at Great Millstone that do well. And we'd like to say peace and salutations to the Lord's elect, to the hopeful elect in the 1/3, and Adawan Ratazah. This lessons, all right, are edifying to the sincere sheep of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakwadash, and the Wadi Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakwadash, for giving us the inspiration through the Rakakwadash, all right, to do these lessons, these sit downs. And if you've been following along, we've been going through the book of Acts in its entirety, okay, and bringing out the correct information, the understanding within the context, so you understand who the Gentiles are in the New Testament when it refers to salvation, and those Gentiles are Israelites, where they may be scattered, and what they look like. Okay, so yeah, man, we're on chapter 27, which chapter 28 is the last chapter. Okay, so also want to just say as well, you know, for you brothers out there and you few sincere sisters, man, thank Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakwadash, that you believe in this thing, man, because you got Jake right now attacking the New Testament, knowing that they're Israelites, saying that the book of Acts is made up, you know, saying, talking ill against Yahweh. I mean, it's just a lot. And that's because we're at the end. Okay. So we're seeing in the last days that the most powerful trait as a servant is faith and not just fringes. Okay. Right. So got the beloved brother Karat Desire right here.
Shalom.
And he's just gonna pop it off, man. So may you brothers and few sincere sisters be edified. And let's go into our history.
All right. This is the book of Acts, chapter 27 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And when it was determined that we should sail into Italy, they delivered Paul and certain other prisoners.
Right, because right here, Paul was pretty much awaiting his trial as a Roman citizen for the charges that were brought against him. And he used wisdom with the, in particular, centurions, and let them know that he is a Roman citizen. Mm-hmm. And really, when you think about it, even though Yahweh Shai, he told Paul that he would go to Rome, when you think about it in context, it was like that was his ticket away from the authority of in Jerusalem on him. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because at that time, you got the Sanhedrin, you got all these wicked Pharisees and Sadducees that were plotting to murder him. Remember, they made a vow to not eat or drink until they murdered him. And then he got to be taken that night, because the next morning when he was going to go to court, they was going to Sakari him,
And it reads,
so men of the Lord live hazardous lives.
Yeah.
As it says, men that have hazarded their lives.
Right.
Men of the Lord are not loved by the majority, but they're most loved in the spirit. Okay, so you as a hopeful elect, you have to embrace the, this in particular walk right now. Now, is that in Lamentations, the 4th chapter and 21, where it says it's good for a man to dwell alone?
3.
Is it 3?
The 3rd chapter.
Thank you. Let's go to Lamentations 3, and I think like 21. Let me see here. This is Lamentations 3 and 26. It says, it is good that a man should both hope and quietly wait for the salvation of the Lord. Verse 27, it is good for a man that he bear the yoke in his youth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because what you go through as a man of the Lord, as this body gets older, the battle gets tougher, man. Okay, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. The knees, back, all types of ailments, man.
Yeah.
Okay. See, and Christianity doesn't give you insight of what a servant's life is like, because they are not the servants of the Lord. Okay.
Right.
It says, he sitteth alone and keepeth silence, because he has borne it upon him. And we actually go through that, where even today, you just sat back and you just kind of just daze off because some shit that's going on, And you know what Yahweh Shemel Shai is showing us? He's showing us that we're the adults surrounded by children, man. Okay. What do you think Apostle Paul had to deal with? Jeremiah. All right. When you look at these ancient prophets surrounded by Israel playing, okay. You got some, brother?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Let's go back
real quick. And it says, Acts 27:1, it says, they delivered Paul and certain other prisoners.
Numbered with the transgressors.
Yep.
Just like Yahweh Shai, Isaiah 53, just like us. Okay. So in the near future, if you get shackled up with some illegal immigrants or some teas, however he wants to word it, you got to smile to yourself in the spirit and say, hey, this is what was told we would go through.
Yeah. And it reads,
because when other Jakes catch hell, when Jacob's trouble really pops off, Jake's going to be questioning why they're in trouble.
Yeah.
You know?
That's true. And it reads, and that's one thing too, like you said, a lot of Jakes, they're misinformed about Jacob's trouble. A lot of Jakes don't know that that's coming, you know?
Yep.
And it says, Paul and certain other prisoners unto one named Julius, a centurion of Augustus' band, and entering into a ship of
Adramyttum.
We launched, meaning to sail by the coasts of Asia. One
Damn, the name means I shall abide in death.
Oh man,
it's a seaport.
Damn.
In Asia Minor.
Damn. It says meaning to sail by the coasts of Asia. One Aristarchus.
And Asia is just the continent that is across the way from Greece.
Yep.
So in Asia's a Greek word. All right. Just because you say Asia doesn't mean so-called Chinese people.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why we call it, which I heard it from Elder Malcolm, on the so-called Middle East.
Right.
That's Asia. They call it the Middle East. This is all plans and ploys.
Yeah.
And people just, the reality right now has just been monopolized by Esau, but that doesn't make the reality true.
Right.
You know?
And it reads, one Aristarchus, slight by my pronunciation, a Macedonian of Thessalonica, being with us.
Mm-hmm. And you got the book of Thessalonians.
That's right.
Which Thessalonians is right next to the Berea, and Macedonia is north of Greece, and that's where Alexander the Great came from.
That's right. Verse 3, and the next day we touched at Sitdown, and Julius courteously entreated Paul and gave him liberty to go unto his friends to refresh himself.
Yeah, now either that's a Jake or either way, but this is the Lord making his enemies be at peace with him.
That's right.
What's that? Proverbs 16:4.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, that's the Proverbs 16 and
Let me see here. Or is it 19? Let me get that real quick. I haven't brought that one out in a while.
I know, right? Proverbs 16:7.
Same chapter. Okay. Proverbs 16:7. When a man's ways please the Lord, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him. So if you brothers ever, question, am I pleasing the Lord? You'll know with your enemies being at peace with you.
Right.
You get pulled over, they got you dead to rights, and they let you go. Hey, that means the Lord made your enemies at peace with you. So what you should be doing as a servant is constantly keeping your mind and your spirit on what is pleasing to the Lord instead of what's pleasing to the woman, right, pleasing to the masses, pleasing to Israel, pleasing to the people. Fuck all that, man. Okay, we have a God we are serving, and through our Savior's blood accepted back. Don't be getting into this spirit of tiptoeing for Jake. Okay, if you don't fucking like it, then you could leave.
That's right. That's
what it comes down to, man. And the times that we're living in, hey, it's gonna get more direct. It already is, but it's gonna be more direct. More rebuke, more correction, more lock in, because we're in a different time now. We're not in a PR, PC.
Yeah.
You try to please everybody. Who the fuck are you to need to be pleased? I don't like that.
Right. That's true.
Shit. We try to please the Lord. That's why he had to tell the Galatians, am I here to persuade men?
Right. And it reads, verse 4, and when we had launched from thence, we sailed under Cyprus because the winds were contrary.
Yeah, that's a small island, if I'm not mistaken. And then you got Cypress Hill today. You know, let me put this in real quick just to show you biblical, because I could see it in my head. Biblical map of Acts 27. Let's just do that. Let's see what they got. Perfect. Let's go to images. Okay, I like that. See that? So he was on a journey. Okay, there's Cyprus. See?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's a long journey.
It is a long journey. Look at that Artemistum. See over here? Look at that. Oh, look, they got a phoenix down there. Caesarea, that's for dedication to the Edomite Caesar. There goes Sidon, Tyre and Sidon. That's where Herod dropped dead, remember?
Yeah, yep.
Bitch ass, he was glowing.
Yeah.
But the people were starving.
Yep.
And he wanted to be praised. His ass dropped dead. Mm-hmm. So, hey, we in a time where the Lord going to start publicly showcasing judgment, man. And people, oh my God. We was talking about the Pope. Hey, you got Jake gonna cry. Yeah. If the Pope died, you're going to have black women crying for him, man.
And black fucking niggas.
And niggas with bald heads.
Like the one time Jake said the Pope got all the juice.
Yep.
A couple years ago.
Yep.
Jake don't know shit, man.
And the Lord is showcasing to us that we are set apart. Mm-hmm. And it shows through our processing of our processing of our mind and our spirit, you know.
That's right.
Let's keep going.
Acts 27 and verse 5.
Yep.
And when we had sailed over the sea of Sicilia and Pamphylia, we came to Myra, a city of Lycia. Mm-hmm. And there the centurion found a ship.
Which you got Jakes in all these regions, might I add.
Right.
Israelites in all these regions, okay? Pamphylia, Sicily, I believe that's the region where Paul was born, if I'm not mistaken.
Was it Turkey?
Well, modern day? Yeah, modern day.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it reads verse 6. And there the centurion found a ship of Alexandria's sailing into Italy, and he put us therein. And when he had sailed slowly many days, and scarce were come over against us, need us, the wind not suffering us, we sailed under Crete. And
Crete is a small island that Titus went to, and he got built up there. They had the church there, camp, and you had false prophets there that were called soul bellies.
Yep.
Which, when you go into that, they were more belly than body.
Yep.
You know, so you gotta watch teachers like that.
That's right. Right, because instead of them feeding the sheep, they feed themselves.
Exactly. Well, that's Ezekiel 34. You know, you're feeding yourselves. See, we live in a way different time, man. And Jake's gonna find out what they've been investing, what they've been dedicating their time to is not going to be conducive for the troubling times ahead, man.
That's right.
See, because not every Israelite looks at lessons like these as sexy or edifying or entertain, or informative.
Yeah.
They want entertainment. They want the debate shit. They want sensationalism. Jake is through out here. Jake's in the truth are through. I've single-handedly watched, I ain't going to say names. I watched a guy jump from Sakari to Wi-Fi to Deacon Genesis, and now he's with GOZ teaching Old Testament only.
What the hell?
Jake is mother effing through out here. Do not think just because you see someone on YouTube fringes with a Bible open that looks like you, they're men of the Lord, man.
Right.
Okay?
That's right, man. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it reads verse 7. It says, we sailed under Crete over against Salmon.
Praying the whole time.
Man.
Praying without ceasing, bro. And this show you that you may go through certain things, but you got to remain faithful within it. Not wavering like this boat did.
That's right.
Being double-minded, tossed to and fro.
That's right.
You got to be locked in right now. You should not be questioning if the Lord is with you. You got to work on that then, man. Because just reading what Paul's going through, being on water, troublous times, you can't be faint-hearted in the midst of that.
That's the scriptures, That's
yeah.
the precept.
All right, what you got?
It's Sirach 2, real quick.
Yep. Ecclesiasticus 2.
Yes. Sirach 2.
Yeah.
And let's see here. Verse 10. It says, look at the generations of old and see.
And you look through the scriptures.
That's right.
Genesis, what's that? Or Deuteronomy 32:7.
Yeah, yep.
You know, ask the fathers.
The ancient past.
Yeah.
That's right. The days of old, man.
Mm-hmm.
And it reads, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded?
So you got to make sure that you trust in the Lord. Do you trust in the name? Do you trust that he'll deliver you? You know, these are things that you as a servant have to acknowledge within yourself.
That's right.
All right. You got to have that spiritual conversation of where you're at in this walk. Okay. Because we're all going to be tested.
That's right. And it reads, and did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him?
You got to know his name to call on him.
That's right. That's right.
You know?
That was right there.
Okay.
I was just laying back in the point you made.
Right.
You got to trust. You know, you got to have faith in, in the names of Yahweh Shema Shai.
Right.
You know, you have to.
Yep.
You know?
Everybody got faith in something.
For real, man.
What you got faith in? You see?
And faith in, faith is a gift. It's a gift from the Most High. Faith in Him, because you can have faith in the football team winning a Super Bowl, or faith in your woman, faith in yourselves. But if you ain't got that name, man, then mixed with faith, then you asked out.
Faith in Babylon, faith in the system.
That's right.
A design rigged system, and you got faith in that.
Right. Like in Acts 27 and verse 8.
Shit, sometimes you gotta be delusional with serving the Lord, because Satan's job is to interfere with that frequency.
Mm-hmm.
He wants you to question it. He wants you to doubt it. So even when everything around you can seem against you, you gotta have that unwavering faith.
Like, that confidence.
And then now that leads to confidence. See, words are like math. It starts with one word, but then an action that's added to it equals another word.
Right.
You know?
That's right.
Like we were talking the other day about how you go from carnality to pride.
Yeah.
Now, this place is carnal, so they look at everything for face value. But then with that, let's say I'm in front of this Edomite, this little fuck boy, like, you know what I'm saying? This little loser. But then he's looking at me for face value. I'm bigger than you. I'm stronger than you. You know, clearly face value, what would happen,
right.
But they still don't humble down. That's called pride.
That's pride.
That's pride. You see?
That's pride.
So it's just like words are like math too. You know, the right equation gives you a different word.
That's right. And it reads verse 8, Acts 27 and 8. And hardly passing it, came unto a place which is called the Fair Havens, nigh whereunto was the city of Lacia. Now, when much time was spent, and when sailing was now dangerous.
Sailing was dangerous.
Damn.
Okay, being a man of the Lord, it's a dangerous job. What is that? Acts 26 and 14. They that hazarded their lives.
Yep.
Let me get that real quick.
They that hazarded their
lives.
Yeah,
they that hazard life. My
Acts 15:26.
Thank you.
Other way around.
Thank you. Acts what is it? 15
and verse 26.
Thank you. Acts 15:26. This is speaking about the brothers that they sent to the church.
Yep.
And it says, men that have hazarded their lives for the name of our Lord Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. Okay, so this walk can be dangerous at times.
That's right.
Okay, and just keeping the laws isn't going to preserve you from that danger. All right, just wearing fringes isn't going to, because I was thinking about it earlier. Like, imagine, like, if someone comes up to IUIC and says, how am I going to eat in a famine? And all he does is reply with his lip on the mic, keep the commandments. So just keep the commandments and food will appear.
Faith, man.
Man, bro.
That's why the Apostle Paul spoke about the law of faith.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
And it reads, and he said, hazard the lives, right?
That's
a precept, because this truth is dangerous. You know, like this is real life. You know, this is bittersweet.
Yeah.
Just real quick, Isaiah 59 and verse 15, it says, yea, truth faileth, and he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey.
Yeah, so the prey gotta pray.
That's right. And the Lord saw it, and it displeased him.
So you gotta realize the Lord is pissed off, man. Okay, and we deal with shit, but we're so blessed that instead of crashing out like you want to,
Right,
the
right.
flesh, you smile because you're like, oh, the Lord, I'm glad the Lord's watching.
Right.
You know, people be passive aggressive to you and shit. They do, you know, that's why I'm glad this is so-called Black History Month, and I've been being treated like a slave.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but within that, the spiritual sober of you knows that the Lord is pissed. If you piss, the Lord pissed her.
That's right.
Okay, that's why it's referred to his vengeance.
That's right. Exactly.
You a baby when it comes to being pissed off, man.
Yeah.
We're babies in being upset. Okay, the Lord been. He said he going as a travailing woman.
Yeah.
You know, bottom lip bit judgment is coming. All right. It said the Lord said he's gonna put his anger in. That prove we not even really mad.
Yeah.
You think you mad? He said, you think you tough? You think you mad? You not mad right now the way the Lord gonna make you mad.
Hey, the Lord's so mad he about to destroy Babylon with thermonuclear fire.
The Lord's so mad he's chilling right now. You know what I'm saying?
And that's real anger right there.
Exactly. That's my point.
You know?
Because that anger is about to heighten.
That's right.
That's why he said, then I'll hold my tongue no more. Because in Rev 6, you got the men of the Lord that have passed that are crying at the altar. Like, when you going to take them out?
Right.
You know? You got a little more?
Yeah, just a little more, yep. Isaiah 59:15, and it reads, and the Lord saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment.
Boom. That's why the role that we've been given is so important, even though we ourselves are insignificant. But these insignificant vessels, us being created, we've been given authority. We've been given a position. So now within that, there's roles that we have to play while wickedness plays out.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we see within that this place is mismanaged. You know, it's unguided. It's confusing. All right. And the Lord is pissed with all of that. All right. And he's gonna right the wrongs. You know what I mean? As they say, he's gonna fix it, man.
Oh, pursuing the Rev 18, it says that he's gonna avenge his elect. Excuse me, that's Luke. But the one in Rev 18 says he's gonna rejoice thou prophets and
holy
apostles.
Holy.
The rejoice ye holy apostles and prophets.
Because there's unholy apostles. You got prophets. You got niggas calling themselves pastor prophet.
That's fucking ridiculous.
You know?
Let me just get real quick. I'm sorry. This is Revelation 18 and verse, what's that?
21.
20. It says, rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for the Most High hath avenged you on her.
That's hateful.
Right.
That is hateful. As they shut up, human. You fucking humans.
Right.
You know? What's a synonym for heathen? Human.
That's right.
Let's keep going.
Back in Acts 27 and verse 9. It says, now when much time was spent, and when sailing was now dangerous, because the
hey, will that show you how the famine could come of hearing? It could be too dangerous out there.
Yeah,
we're hazarding our lives. What do you always quote? Elder Malcolm says.
He says, it's like he says.
It's the second time I mentioned
the men that put their lives on the line.
Yeah, we put our lives on the line. You know,
paraphrasing.
Yeah,
you know?
We put our lives on the line, and it's not look at us, we're putting our lives on the line. No, we're telling you the real deal.
Right.
Starting, with our forefathers, and then now our elders and apostles who've have set the standard of what we enter in their labor to keep.
That's right.
Sometimes it's so cold out you can't even go to camp.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So how much more when the plagues hit?
Yeah. It harder. Plagues are here.
Right.
You saw that in Detroit.
Yeah.
A frozen flood, bro.
Oh my gosh. Things are happening, man. The Lord's making moves. This is Acts 27 and verse 9. And when sailing was now dangerous, because the fast was now already past, Paul admonished them and said unto them, Sirs, I perceive that this voyage will be with hurt and much damage, not only of the lading and ship, but also of our lives. Nevertheless, the centurion believed the master and the owner of the ship more than those things which were spoken by Paul.
Boom. So that proves, you know how many times you'll give some sound advice, but what's the scripture say? Wisdom is too high for a fool.
Yep.
It's in Proverbs 24.
That's right.
Let me get that real quick. Let's do this. Let's put wisdom. Watch this. Let's see what comes up. Wisdom, and then we'll put fool. Fool. Let me see. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Look at all this. Proverbs 24:7. Wisdom is too high for a fool. He openeth not his mouth in the gate. That's what we see today. That's why people aren't talking, because they're fools.
Yeah.
The only ones that are talking is because the ones that got wisdom.
Yep.
Everyone else is just fools, man.
The scriptures say even a fool will keep his mouth shut.
That's deemed wise.
Right. That's the water. Even a fool that's deemed wise keep his mouth shut.
Yeah.
You know.
So look, Paul, like, he perceived in the spirit. He like, hey, this ain't about to be what you think.
Right.
We need to dock this.
Right.
You know? Yeah, we ain't listening to you because a wise man words are despised.
That's right.
You know? So brothers, you need to embrace that. People ain't gonna listen to you. Okay?
You know?
They're not set up right now. The authority. The people aren't willing because they don't see the power.
That's right.
But that power's coming, man.
They don't see it yet.
Yeah.
You know. Verse 12. And because the haven was not commutous to winter, to winter, in the more, let me start it from the top, Acts 27:12. And because the haven was not commutous to winter in,
and because the harbor was not suitable to winter in, and since Fair Haven was an exposed harbor, so it's just like a dock.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it ain't
like closed in.
No, like seasonal friendly.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Right. Like you in the winter are driving a convertible. Like it's not weatherized. Yeah. Like this shit ain't built for this weather right now.
Not durable, man.
A poor place to spend the winter. Since the harbor was unsuitable to winter in, the majority decided that we should sail on. See? So they're like, nah, we just got to truck through it.
You're right.
Hey, well, that's why we're going to have faith, because people may choose to do something that you know isn't wise, and now you got to roll through the tribulation of it.
That's right.
Watch, keep going.
And it reads, the more part advised to depart thence also, and by any means they might attain to Phoenicia.
And the other translation says Phoenix.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
And there to winter, which is in haven to Crete, and lie toward the southwest and northwest.
Haven just meaning harbor.
And when the south wind blew softly, supposing that they had obtained the purpose, losing thence they sailed close by Crete.
Mm-hmm.
But not long after there arose against it a tempestuous wind called Euroclydon. Euroclydon. And when the ship was caught and could not bear up into the wind, we let her drive. And running under a certain island, which is called Clauda.
Oh, well, look at that. So they named the wind Euroclydon, which means a violent agitation. But that makes me think how they name storms today.
Right, yeah.
You know? Yep. So that's a Rome revival.
Right.
This is the Roman Empire. Yep. So they're naming these winds.
Hurricane Harvey.
Yep.
Right.
So that's a little gem right there, brothers. Look at that. Why y'all named it? It's called the East Wind.
Oh, wow.
You know?
Right there. And it reads verse 16. And running under a certain island.
See, we just dissecting scriptures now. You know? Oh, look, see, a storm from the east. So they called this storm from the east that name.
Wow.
So matter of fact, let's look that up. Let's ask. Use Google. Did Rome have names for storms? It's not even something you would think to ask, huh?
All right, yeah.
While ancient Rome did not have a standardized system for naming storms like we do today, some historical evidence suggests that people in the Roman era might have referred to storms based on the association of Roman gods.
Which means what? They had names.
Woo!
Come on, man.
Look at that. Another gem. See?
All over again, baby.
We're dissecting the scriptures now.
Man.
You know?
And then, you say as Google, right? Because Google's AI. AI knows everything.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they give you AI. They got ASI.
Oh, yeah. Which stands for
super intelligence.
See? Come on.
Yeah, we got to do lessons on that. All right. Let's keep going.
Back in Acts 27 and verse 16, it reads, we had much work to come by the boat, which when they had taken up, they used helps undergirding the ship.
You know them helps were Jake's.
Right. and fearing lest they should fall into the quicksands, straight sail, and so were driven. And we being exceedingly tossed with the tempest, the next day they lightened the ship.
Look at it, NLT. Then the sailors bound ropes around the whole of the ship to strengthen it. They were afraid of being driven across to the sandbars of Sitdown off the African coast, Sanetta. So they lowered the sea anchor to slow the ship and were driven before the wind. See? So that's why sometimes the other translations, so they were heading towards more shallow water.
Right.
So this chapter is treacherous.
Yeah.
Like this whole chapter is like, damn.
Yeah.
Look what he's doing. We're in the 18th verse, and the whole time it's been damn shipwrecked.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Right.
That's what you go through, man. Ups and downs. People ain't listening. You still holding faith. You make a suggestion, it's ignored.
Yeah,
We're amongst the fucking lowest bottom based mindset people imaginable.
Yep.
And they look their so-called part. Don't you ever think just because a fucking person's in a suit, they got something to them.
Straight up, man.
All
That's
right?
true. Exactly, man.
This whole shit is just images and titles and badges.
Right.
And chapters like these really open you up to who the Lord's would instead of who you think the Lord would based off what you see.
Right.
That's why it tells you that. Let me get this in 1 Samuel 16, one of my favorites. All right. This is what we deal with on a day-to-day. 1 Samuel 16 and 7. But the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Shai, said unto Samuel, this priest, look not on his countenance or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord seeth not as man seeth, for man looketh on the outward appearance.
Right.
But the Lord looketh on the mind.
That's right.
Okay? So where you at in the mind with it?
Right.
See?
Back in Acts 27 and verse 18.
You got prophets out here, they're a lemon. Like in the world of vehicles.
Yep.
Let me show you that real quick. What is a car that's called a lemon? Let's see. Come on, AI. A lemon is a car with a serious defect that makes it unsafe or unusable. Well, that's what these guys are. But outwardly, they look good.
Yep.
They said, man, I got a fucking lemon, man.
Yep.
Well, that's what these prophets are. And this is what it's going to be. Okay? Look, he got the suit on, fringy, everything look good, sound system, sound good. Prophets are back, marching. And then come to find out that shit was a lemon. It was a dud,
Right.
And that's what these guys are. That's why I said, man, pass over you and don't know your graves.
That's right. What's that, Matthew 23?
Which one you look? Dead man's bones?
Yes. Yep. Oh, here you go. This is Matthew 23 and verse 27. It says, woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites.
For lemons.
Right. Exactly. For ye are like unto whited sepulchres, which indeed appear beautiful outward, but are within full of dead men's bones and of all uncleanness.
Bitter. And that's what a lemon is bitter. It don't taste good. Sour. Oh, naughty figs.
Yep.
Sour grapes.
Exactly.
Damn.
What's that? Jeremiah 24.
Yep. Look at that.
Verse 28. It says, even so, ye also outwardly appear righteous unto men, but within ye are all full of hypocrisy and iniquity.
Boom.
Damn.
Common signs your prophet is a lemon.
Damn, it looked good.
Yeah.
It looked good. What was the old saying go? Look good from far, but far from good.
Yep. Look good from far, but far from good.
Man.
Okay.
All right. Back in Acts 27 and in verse 19.
Yep.
And it reads, in the third day.
Damn, 3 days.
Damn.
Listen, man. Hey, an average Jake couldn't do 1 day in that.
Yeah.
You know?
1 hour.
1 hour, man. See, Jake right now is playing. They not ready for this kind of life. Okay? Try to have a IUIC marriage on that ship. Okay?
Ain't gonna be no marriage.
And this is a man of the Lord.
That's right.
There ain't gonna be no marriage. She ain't gonna say I do. You know? Right or right, though. She gonna say, I can't, right. Tommy.
And it says, verse 19, and the third day we cast out with our own hands the tackling of the ship. And when neither sun nor stars in many days appeared, and no small tempest lay on us, all hope that we should be saved was then taken away.
Wow. That's why you can't faint. Let's go back to Proverbs 24. Can't. Is that 24 and 12?
Which one you took?
Faint in the day of adversity? Let me see. Yeah. I think it's 24.
I know the one in Sirach. I'm thinking about top of my head.
Well, just quote it for them and I'll I got it.
Okay, I'm sorry.
This one, Proverbs 24 and 10. If thou faint in the day of adversity, thy strength is small.
Yep.
So you can't be fainting, man. And this word adversity, it's the same word for trouble in Jeremiah 30 and 7.
Wow.
Wow. Which goes into straits, distress, and evil wife.
Wow.
Yep.
It's an evil wife?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I'll show you. Look. Check this out. Let's all look together. See the Lord. See, look, the Lord is showing us that we're in that true hour. Look, rival wife, vexer, distress. Damn. And this is where Satan be. When you be vexed, Satan's right there. Yeah. Like when I get pissed off and I go, man, I'm pissed or I'm vexed, then demons start messing with me more. Yep. And then you start analyzing everything. Yep. And they go, wow, because what they're trying to do is kick you while you're down, so-called. Right. Look, what Jake say, I'm tight.
Yep.
Tightness.
Wow.
Trouble, tribulation, trouble, female rival. Damn. Slashing tires.
Damn, man. And it reads verse verse 21. But after long abstinence, Paul stood forth in the midst of them.
Look at that.
Right.
Man of the Lord. See how men of the Lord always will stand out?
That's right.
Men of the Lord always will stand out because that is our spiritual design by what you would call nature, which I believe nature means like growth, but that's how the Lord created us. It'll be as pillars. They'll be the covert from the wind.
That's right.
A hiding place. Let's keep reading.
It says, and Paul stood forth in the midst of them and said, sirs, ye should have hearkened unto me.
Woo! The biggest I told you so in history.
That's right.
Then they shall know prophets were among them. Didn't I tell you should have listened? Did I fucking tell you should have listened? Now you talking and your teeth ain't moving.
Yep.
That's you don't want to be with Brown and Jake like that. Yep. If he's talking to you and his teeth aren't operating at the same speed as his lips,
yeah,
he's pissed.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
And it says, ye should have hearkened unto me and not have loosed from Crete.
You should have stayed at Crete. We could have chilled. I know Titus. You'd have been good. I got the church set up there. We got things rocking. We've been all right. But you ain't want to listen.
Yep. A wise man words are despised.
Oh, yep.
It says,
the simple passed on and are punished.
That's right. Yep. And I have loosed from Crete and to have gained this harm and loss. And now I exhort you to be of good cheer, for there shall be no loss of any man's life among you, but of the ship. So the ship's gonna go, but y'all gonna live. Right. See? For there stood by me this night the angel of the Most High. Wow. Whose I am and whom I serve, saying, fear not, Paul, thou must be brought before Caesar, and lo, the Most High hath given thee all them that sell with thee. Wow. So Paul's breaking it down how this is going to play out. And you got to understand, man, when the Lord is speaking to his men, we have a clear conscience of how it's going to play out, how the Lord says. So we're not tripping. Right. Like remember in Braveheart, he said, God told me I'm going to make it out. Yeah. Yep. Oh, and in the book of Eli too. That's right. That's right. And it reads, lo, the Most High hath given thee all them that sell with thee. Wherefore, sirs, be of good cheer, for I believe the Most High, that it shall be even as it was told me.
Wow. Faith.
Howbeit we must be cast upon a certain island. But when the 14th night was come,
Damn.
the 14th night.
Now what? No, so he had the Sabbath then.
Yeah.
How you gonna keep the Sabbath? Huh?
Right.
For IUIC, how you know it was Saturday?
Come on, man.
How you know it was Friday? You know?
And it reads, but when the 14th night was come, as we were driven up and down in Adria, about midnight, the shipmen deemed that they drew near to some country, and sounded and found it 20 fathoms. And when they had gone a little further, they sounded again and found it 15 fathoms.
So this probably like a it was their technology of how close they were to land. That's why like today you got what do they call? Not watchtowers. What the hell is that called? Lighthouses. Because you could crash because you don't know how much depth the water is, how close you are to land.
Right. It could be rocks out there.
Oh, see, look. So what they did, look, they dropped the weighted line and found, see, they were seeing how deep the water was. Because you can only go so far in a boat until it gets stuck in the shallow water.
Right.
You know? So this was their technology. All right. So they kept measuring it to see how deep the water was, to see how close they could keep going.
And it reads, Acts 27 and verse 29. Then fearing lest we should have fallen upon rocks,
Yep.
They cast 4 anchors out of the stern.
This is a very edifying chapter.
Yeah, this is really an account for a faith.
A faith,
you know.
Yes, this is exactly an account of faith. It's an account showing you how people aren't gonna listen, how you can't waver, and things are gonna happen, but you'll still be okay.
That's right.
You know.
And it reads. Verse 29. Then fearing lest we should have fallen upon rocks, they cast 4 anchors out of the stern and wished for the day.
Yeah, so they cast all 4 out, so it stopped it completely to stop the ship, you know.
And as the shipmen were about to flee out of the ship, when they had let down the boat
it says they prayed for daylight. They prayed for daylight. Yo, this make you fishers of men?
Yeah. Wow.
Hey, a fisherman's life was dangerous.
Man. Yeah. Like if you watch some shows today, that shit is dangerous, man.
Yeah, was that like wild caught catch?
Yeah, wild catch. And even like the living conditions. Like the bathroom is horrible. Like they barely get sleep.
Well, that's where the term salty comes from.
Really?
Yeah, because their skin would get like all salted.
Oh, yeah, I remember you telling me that.
Yeah. Let me see real quick. Let's just look it up real quick. Almost at the end of
it.
Yeah, exactly. Where does the term salty
that's funny. Jake said that today.
come from? Let's see. We'll look at that. 1440. Let me see. Salt. Well, no, we don't want that.
Like, typing fisherman.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, I think that's it. Salty come from for fisher. Yeah, fisherman. Let's see. See, the origin of salty. See, it's linked to sailors with salty meaning tough or aggressive. Oh, he's salty. Wow. And that's what I mean. Oh, he's mad.
Right.
But it really comes from the lifestyle of a sailor.
That's a rough lifestyle.
Exactly. Hell yeah. What they say, he talks like a sailor.
Yeah. Yep. And like we were saying earlier, which is full circle kind of, you said about the prophets having their lives.
Yep.
It's a rough life.
Yep.
It's a very bittersweet, a life being in his truth, as being a true man of the Lord.
And as a salty sailor, you're commanded to step out on that water now.
That's right.
Because who's gathered the winds in his fist?
Right. Back in Acts 27 and verse 30.
Yep.
And as the shipmen were about to flee out of the ship, when they had let down the boat into the sea.
So there's some shit going on here.
Yeah.
They're trying to get out. So this was some like mighty winds, bro. Like it was like the Lord was working on it. And really and it showed and faith, and Paul showed his faith within that while the rest were tripping. He said they want to die. Why are you jumping out the ship?
Right. It says under color as though they would have cast anchors out of the foreship, Paul said to the centurion and to the soldiers, except these abide in the ship, ye cannot be saved.
Woo!
Wow. Then the soldiers cut off the ropes of the boat and let her fall off.
Oh, well, look, it says, except these abide in the ship, ye cannot be saved. Yahweh Shai said, you have to remain in Jerusalem to receive the Holy Spirit.
That's right.
You know? Then in time of Passover, you can't leave the house or the destroyer angel will get you.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like a when you go in the scriptures, it's like a not only is where force field, like you get like a hedge, and you leave that hedge, like you can feel it when you're at camp.
Yeah.
You ever step out from camp, you outside looking in,
it's different.
You want to get back in.
Yeah.
You know?
That's why the scriptures say the angel of the Lord camped around about in that field.
Yep.
You know, that's real.
Yep.
You know?
So there was a hedge, and why? Because of Paul. What's that in Genesis? It said if there be one, remember Abraham was asking, he said, if there be one, he would save the city.
Yep.
So why was the ship? Why were they going to be saved? Because Paul was on that ship.
That's right.
So wherever a man of the Lord is, that's where safety is. Let's get Isaiah 32, man. Look, man.
And that remind me of you saying that the other account in the account with Pharaoh and Joseph. You know, Pharaoh, he didn't want Joseph to leave his house because he knew the Lord was dealing with him.
Right.
You know?
Right. Like, please stay.
Mm-hmm.
And we've actually had people treat us like that. Me and the brother together, like, nah, man, just stay with here. Stay here. Mm-hmm. NKJV, Isaiah 32:2, a man will be as a hiding place. Yep. A man will be as a hiding place from the wind.
Right, man, not a woman.
Right.
A man, an Israelite man.
Yep.
You know, an elect man at that.
And a cover from the tempest. This is literally what this account. Mm-hmm. So this is showing, this giving an insight of how the Lord is going to work through his men in that day, which proves Isaiah 4:1, because they're going to be protected within that man.
Yep.
You know?
That's right.
And a cover from the tempest as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land.
That's right.
And that's the time we're entering. That's why this account, this chapter is so edifying.
Right.
You know?
Right, man. Back in Acts 27 and verse 33, and while the days was coming on, Paul besought them all to take meat, saying, this day is the 14th day that ye have tarried and continue fasting.
Wow.
Ooh, having taken nothing.
Wow.
Wherefore I pray you to take some meat, for this is for your health, for there shall not any hair fall from the head of any of you.
These are Israelites.
Most definitely.
These are Israelites he's speaking to.
Yes. And when he had thus spoken, he took bread and gave thanks to the Most High in presence of them all. And when he had broken it, he began to eat. Then were they all of good cheer, and they also took some meat. And we were in all in the ship 216 souls.
Damn.
What's that? 200 was 3
276 people.
Damn.
All together, there were about 276 of us on board. Well, that's how you know Apostle Paul wasn't on none of those planes.
Right.
Because they asked.
Right. That's hilarious.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So any disaster, that means a man of the Lord ain't there.
That's right.
That's why you had, what's my man, Elijah and Mr. Glass?
Yes, yeah. Elijah and
no, remember what he would do is he would sabotage something to see who would survive.
Yes. Yep.
So that so if everyone dies, that means there was no man of the Lord there.
That's right.
You know, for the most part.
That's right. And it reads,
because that's why in Revelations it's talked about how they had the seal of God in war.
Yep.
Because they were fathers of the elect.
Right, because that lineage got to be continued so that the elect can be born.
Yeah, spared.
That's right. That's a better word, spared.
Like Noah, so that Shem, Ham, Japheth.
Yeah.
You know?
That's right.
The elect. So what? The rest of Israel. Jake don't realize how important the elect is. That's why it says if it wasn't for the small remnant, we would be Sodom and Gomorrah. The only reason Jake will be back in the kingdom is because the elect.
Right.
Now you got to come through the loins of men you mocked, scoffed, denied, cursed, you know, said whatever you plotted to kill.
Man.
Now you coming through their loins, through the act of sex.
and that shame is gonna befall out of Jake.
Jeez.
Man. Back in Acts 27 and verse 38. And when they had eaten enough, they lightened the ship and cast out the wheat into the sea. And when it was day, they knew not the land, but they discovered a certain creek with the shore, into the which they were minded, if it were possible, to thrust in the ship.
So they don't know what's going on. They don't know where they're at, what landmass they're on. They looked out the windows, darkened. That's how Jacob's trouble gonna be.
Yep.
You know, and then you're gonna have that voice of reason, and that voice of reason is because that's a man of the Lord.
That's right. And then, you know, of course, everything is all done through the Lord. But if they would take heed in the beginning, they wouldn't have to go through this. Just like if Jake take heed now, repent, and come back to the Lord, and call upon His true name, then in Jacob's trouble, you won't be asked out. Yeah. That's why He says, they shall seek me early, but I shall not hear them. Yep. And it reads, what's the verse was on? Verse 40.
Yes.
It says the water. And when they had taken up the anchors, they committed themselves unto the sea, and loosed the rudder bands, and hoisted up the mainsail to the wind, and made toward shore. And falling into a place where two seas met, they ran the ship aground, and the forepart stuck fast and remained unmovable, but the hinder part was broken with the violence of the waves.
Yeah, that's the Lord doing this.
Most definitely. And the soldiers' counsel was to kill the prisoners.
Because I was going to say that this is a slave ship. This is like a prison bus, right? Like in the movie, I think not U.S. Marshal, but the one with Wesley Snipes. They were all on the bus together. And then it crashed, and then he escaped out of it. Yep. I think it is U.S. Marshal. So Paul is numbered with the transgressors. Man. Those are Jake's. So they all locked up with him. And he's comforting them, know? And then now, and that's actually a thing. I don't know if it was Katrina. Let me see. But there's actually a thing. Guards kill prisoners so they won't escape. I remember we were going into this years ago. Pretty much like if they declare martial law, there's like a law where they can kill the prisoners so they don't escape.
Damn.
Yeah. Let me see here. I'll have to look into it. It's like a law. See, there's so much stuff. The prison guard. I can't remember. Is it if martial law is declared, what happens to prisoners? Yeah, let's just put that. Let's see what comes up.
I'm looking forward to.
Look, when martial law is declared, prisoners may experience a shift to military jurisdiction. Damn. Wow, so that means the military will take them over, and then they, at their discretion. Let's see here. So, I mean, we don't got to go all into it.
Right, it says meaning that their treatment could be legal proceedings could be governed by military law instead of civilian law.
There you go. So, and I remember it's like a conspiracy. It came out, but pretty much I remember they were like they could kill you.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
What he saw is the Lord's sword.
Yep.
He buried not in vain.
Yep. Okay. Just want to check that real quick. Let's keep going. Let's wrap it up.
Back in Acts 27 and verse 42, and the soldiers' counsel was to kill the prisoners, lest any of them should swim out and escape.
Wow.
But the centurion, willing to save Paul,
because he's probably a Jake,
right, kept them from their purpose.
Like, no.
Right.
Make your enemies be at peace with you.
That's right. But the centurion, willing to save Paul, kept them from their purpose, and commanded that they which could swim should cast themselves first into the sea and get to land. And the rest, some on boards and some on broken pieces of the ship.
Damn.
And so it came to pass that they escaped all safe to land, just like the Apostle Paul said.
Wow.
You're not going to die.
Right. Wow. Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, so we just hey, this is the second to last chapter. So Anuratazah, we will be completing the book of Acts in its entirety next week, if it be the Lord's will. And that will be chapter 28. It's a fairly short chapter. But yeah, man, we just pray that these lessons are edifying to the body of believers, to Yahweh Shai's sheep at the end of the day. And we're all collectively sitting here waiting ultimately to be delivered, man.
Right.
And this is the time to showcase your sincerity as sincere servants, sincere believers, while the rest are wanting to be in Jerusalem and partying and bullshitting and marrying and getting their own
house of mirth.
Yep, the house of mirth. We're in the house of mourning, waiting to be delivered. So yeah, we're just gonna end it there. We pray that this was edifying. We just want to say call halal, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone that do well. Peace and salutations to the Lord's elect. With that being said, shalom. One more chat.